ఇంకెవరు రాలేదు.
క్లాస్ ఉందా? క్లాస్ ఆన్ చేసావు అప్పుడే?
అప్పుడు అటెండ్ చేసావురా.
అరే మైకాపు
మళ్ళీ మేకప్ 310 నువ్వేనా? ఇది ఎవడం
బాబు
బాబు
306 సైలెంట్ గా ఉండమ్మా.
పంబాగిలు మైకాపండి మీరిద్దరు సరసాల తర్వాత చేసుకుని గాని.
బాబు 306 తాగేసి క్లాసు రాకూడదమ్మా.
Have you joined the class? The 21, the first hour 80 people. What's the problem? So we'll start the, okay? So you don't disturb the class. I think screen is visible. 306 Venkatesh, put in the chat box. 305, 325. Durgarao. Okay. Okay. So we'll start the class. Today's topic is the whole basis and shaft basis system of fits. So actually in the syllabus it is in some of the books it is system of fits, but in the system of fits you have to go for the whole basis and shaft basis system, wherein you can obtain the desired class of fits by either changing the size of the hole or the size of the shaft. So in this system of fits, we can say that it is classified into two types: hole basis and shaft based system of fits. And basically, they are already seen there are three basic types of fits: clearance fit, interference fit, and transition fit. So we'll come to the first one, hole basis system, and second one is the shaft based system. So what is hole based system? Okay, so in the hole basis system, the size of the hole, you just try to listen carefully, because some people are getting confused as far as this is a very important topic. You may ask what is the system of fits, or you may directly ask hole based system and shaft based system. or differentiate between hole-based system and shaft-based system? So this is the particular question that can be asked. And here in the hole-based system, you just say hole bases. The size of the hole is kept constant, and the shaft size is varied to get the desired top of it. So that is the, and here you can see we have the particular lower deviation of the hole is 0. Okay, I'll see. Can you hear my voice now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I think that might have, audio might have some problem. So here, the lower deviation of the hole is 0. So what is the lower deviation of the hole is 0 means? I'll try to show the graphical representation of the hole-based system and shaft-based system in one of the slides. So when we try to say hole-based system, hole, capital H, capital H, capital H is 0. So in some of the problems we'll try to do so that you can understand whether it gives in the examination or not. There is not the botheration. So in order to understand the hole-based system and shaft-based system and to calculate the size of the hole and the shaft, we have to know different things, different terminologies. So lower deviation of the hole is 0 means H hole is 0. So the lower limit, what is the meaning of this one? The lower limit of the hole is the same as the basic size. That means H is 0 means the lower deviation or lower limit of the hole is same as the basic size. That means when the lower limit is 0, you can say whether it is 25 mm and 40 mm, the lower limit will be 25 mm or 40 mm. That is the meaning of that one. So here we have, suppose we are keeping the hole size constant. So the other side we have the shaft. So we have two limits of the shaft. One is the upper limit and the other one is the lower limit. So what you are doing here, the higher dimension of the hole. Suppose the lower limit of the hole is same as the basic size. So what you are doing, the higher dimension of the hole. The higher dimension of the hole is the upper limit. So you are trying to vary the shaft size and to get the desired type of fit. So we have the two limits of the shaft. In order to get the desired type of fit, what you are varying, the upper limit or lower limit you are varying, that is the two limits of the shaft and the higher dimension. Higher dimension is, you might have given higher dimension, you can directly go as the upper limit of the hole. You are varying to get the desired type of fit. So three parameters you are varying to get the desired type of fit. That is the clearance fit, transition fit, and interference fit. So that's how you have to explain. Suppose it is a shaft-based system. I'll try to come to that so that you can logically remember, not by heart things. Logically remember and understand the concept of this particular hole-based system and shaft-based system. So here in this particular diagram, so we just try to specify. So same diagram, both of them. So anything. So here in the same 0 line, so as far as the hole-based system is concerned, so this is the shaft tolerance. Shaft you try to hatch, and this is the hole. So from here to here, it is the. So you are trying to just enjoy. If I catch them, I'll try to remove from the class for the whole semester the particular person. I don't know, nowadays I am not able to hear Ajad or Sairam. They have to be responsible as seers. You try to tell me, I'll try to remove that particular registration number from the class for whole semester. So it's not online class full. So sometimes you are asked to come to the class, to the offline, whenever it's required, and that also the lab we have to go for offline. So be careful. So here what I mean to say, the clearance fit is depicted in the hole based system like this one. So hole is kept constant. You are keeping the H hole as the lower deviation. That means here H is 0, capital H is 0. So you are putting the hole tolerance on the 0 line, and you are trying to vary the two limits of the shaft, that is the upper limit and lower limit. So you have to keep this below the 0 line. So that is for the hole based system. As far as clearance fit is concerned, you have to draw this particular figure and you have to practice this. And as far as the transition fit is concerned, same hole tolerance is on the 0 line, and you are varying the particular shaft size, because it's a transition fit. One may be on the upper side, upper limit, one may be the lower limit, and one may be in between the tolerance zone of the hole. So this is how you try to depict or try to just exhibit the particular diagram related to the transition fit, that is the for the hole basis. So as far as the same interference fit, this is opposite of this one, clearance fit. So you have to put the hole tolerance or the tolerance zone on the 0 line and try to vary the shaft. So you try to go for the above the 0 line, the shaft tolerance, So this particular diagram and number of times you have to practice. Suppose some may be just catching now itself in the online class. Some try to go to your house and practice. We are in the home only, but just we are in the habit of telling in the offline class. So just try to practice like that. So this is the same diagram is there. So this particular system, why you can say why this system has been brought into existence, because the system is widely adopted in the industries, because it is easier to manufacture the shafts of various sizes to the required tolerances, because where you try to just load the particular component, that is the shaft, on the lathe or the cylindrical grinding machine or the centerless grinding machine, because in order to get the required tolerances or in order to have the allowance, that is the positive or negative or both the positive allowance and negative allowance to get the desired type of fit, we are trying to provide tools to the to manufacture the shaft in the machine shop by using different machines. But because we have seen in the industry for the while we are going for the shaft inspection, we used to take the particular big micrometer 0 to 150 and the precision micrometer, digital micrometer, and whenever he is trying to take some material, so number of times we used to check in between. He has to self check the machinist, the cylindrical who is handling the machine, self check, and he has to ask us, because the shaft when it is going underside, you have to reject it. That's why minor tolerances within microns has to be thoroughly checked or correctly checked by the machinist or as well as the quality control or the quality assurance inspector. And because you are using that particular shaft in a particular special purpose machine at the headstock side, you have to assemble that, because shaft is a male component. You have to assemble that in the housing, that is the spindle hole. Shaft is a spindle, and you have to assemble that in the spindle housing, which is a hole. So according to the permanent assembly or the temporary assembly, or according to the desired type of fit as asked by the customer, as desired by the customer, you have to check, you have to just manufacture the shaft according to the customer's requirement. Okay, so we have to, so how you check the, we'll try to come to the gauges later, but whenever we are telling shafts, we are using the ring and snap gauges. And whenever we are trying to check the hole sizes, we are using the standard size plug gauges. So we'll try to see in the limit gauges. the plane limit gauges. Why it is known as plane? Because the unthreaded portion, if the threaded portion is there, we try to say it is a thread plug gauge, it is an internal thread, or a thread ring or snap gauge if it is an external thread. So you have to be very careful while specifying the type of gauge, while using the type of gauge for a particular application in the industry. So people may think that theory, okay, but understanding is difficult in the online class, because in the offline class we may give definite, we are giving more number of examples, but we are not able to control the class because some people are taking it lightly. Because if you want to get good grade, you want to have a fundamental knowledge on the industry, not only academics. As far as the passing of this particular subject, metrology, in GATE or different competitive exams, this limits, fits and tolerances chapter is of utmost importance, highly important chapter. So the size of the shaft is kept constant in the shaft basis system, and the hole size is varied. Here the hole size is varied. Try to remember. So we have the hole means the upper limit and lower limit of the shaft, and we have the fundamental deviation here. As for the shaft based system, the fundamental deviation will be the upper deviation, and the small head shaft, upper deviation of the shaft means small head shaft is zero. So here upper deviation is 0 means you have the lower deviation. You are varying the lower deviation of the shaft and the two limits of the hole, that is the upper limit and the lower limit, or that you can say either ways, the lower limit first and the upper limit. So that concept has to go into your mind, so you have to put an heart and soul in each and every class, because it's not so easy. Some problematic subjects are there. You try to refer your students, your senior students. So system is not preferred. This system is not preferred in industries. Why? Because you try to prefer hole-based system, because it is easily to require manufacture shafts than the standard holes, because you have to have the tools for making of the holes. You have to have the tools like reamers, broaches, and gauges. So what are the gauges you use to check this particular holes? Is the plug gauges, standard plug gauges. Standard plug gauges you have to have, because rather than the hole-based system, it will increase the manufacturing cost. It not only increases the manufacturing cost, it will also increases the particular inspection cost. Some problem is there. Okay, I'll come to the chart. So what is your problem? So what is the use of shaft-based system? Okay, anything shaft-based system or hole-based system is nothing but, in order to get the desired type of fit, we try to use, whenever we want to use the hole-based system, we can use the hole-based system, or whenever we want to use the shaft-based system, we can use. But whenever we want the shaft-based system, what you have to do, you have to keep the shaft size constant and the hole size is varied. It's not that because of the manufacturing cost and the increasing cost of the inspection, you totally eradicate or not put into practice in the industry the shaft-based system. When compared to the hole-based system, this is not preferred much, he is telling. So that's why shaft, both in the system of fits classification, we have the hole-based system and shaft-based system. But whenever you want to use this shaft-based system for a particular application, you have to use this shaft-based system. So that is the importance of this one. So it's not that you have to, you can ask the questions, but I just recommend not only Durga Rao, anybody can ask. There are a lot of people, lateral entry people, and so many people, other 26 some 10. I don't want to mention, because I mentioned the name, they think that I'm showing partiality, but it's not like that. There are a lot of people who have potential. You can ask the questions in the chat box, or at the end, at the 5 minutes or 3 minutes, we'll try to concentrate on the questionnaire. So you can ask in the middle also. because we have to take again the slide back. We want to explain your doubt or clarify your doubt. So shaft-based system, just like the hole-based system, you have to draw the diagram related to the shaft-based system. So you say the upper deviation of the shaft is 0. So in the graphical representation of hole-based system and shaft-based system, you can see in the clearance fit, the shaft-based system, the upper deviation is 0. So you are putting the shaft tolerance below the 0 line and trying to vary the size of the hole, that is the lower limit and the upper limit. So as far as the shaft is concerned, we have the upper deviation. So what we have now to vary for the shaft, the lower deviation. That's how we have to explain to get the desired type of fit. Why I'm telling every time the desired type of fit according to the customer's requirement, whether it is a clearance fit or a transition fit or the interference fit the customer was, you try to manufacture the component according to his, you have to manufacture the mating components according to his requirement, according to the drawing. So that is how you have to say. So here also shaft tolerance is below the 0 line. The upper deviation, that is the small h shaft, is 0. And you are in order to get the transition fit, you are trying to vary the size of the hole. Same. This is opposite to the particular hole basis. So either you remember one of the diagrams or both. But don't try to, in the examination I've seen so many students are confusing the hole-based system, the drawing for the hole-basis, shaft-based system diagram, and for the shaft-basis, the hole-based system diagram. You have to practice, that's why, not by seeing or hearing. Because in the offline class, every time I say keywords, the opens, it should not be an open control system. Open loop control system. It should be a closed loop control system. Circuit should close and get into your mind. So here in the transition fit, you have to keep the hole tolerance below the 0 line and the shaft tolerance on the 0 line. So you have to depict or show the three types of fit on the same 0 line. So you can ask a question regarding the types of fits that means indirectly you may ask the hole-based system and shaft basis by showing the clearance fit, transition fit, and interference fit on the same 0 line. So you have to explain the system of fits. So you have to be very clear what is asking. Don't be in a hurry. Sometimes you may give indirect question to confuse you. Rather than asking directly the hole-based system and shaft-based system of fits, you may ask indirect question. So you be clear in your explanation. So we'll try to see the examples of numerical examples later in some of the classes, because we have to go for the fundamentals a lot there. After maybe after the system of assembly, of the types of assembly, the trial and error, or we'll try to go mostly for the interchangeability or the interchangeable assembly in the selective assembly. After that, we go for numerical examples. So slowly, I will go back to the whatever fundamentals that are needed for the particular numerical examples and numerical problems that we have to do. So it's not that JNTU, any set is not asking or something. It may be purely theory subject, but it is very important as far as the GATE is concerned, the numerical problems. You have to understand the terminology first. If you want, I'll repeat again this terminology, but we have a lot of things to cover as far as the fundamental tolerance or tolerance grades for different applications. We just try to see this slides because without understanding or without the formula, this is the formula. D is equal to root of D max into D. This is the tolerance grade. I is equal to standard tolerance unit. So for shaft sizes below 500 mm, this particular formula is applicable. 0.453 into cube root of D. D is the diameter of the part. diameter of the part, that is the 25 mm or 40 mm diameter. So here you have to go for the tables and try to explain the tables and then try to come to the particular example so that you can understand better. So how that also should be there in the slides. So that's why I'm telling this is what we have as far as the tolerance grades are concerned. And D is the geometric mean of the lower and upper diameters, the least and the minimum and the maximum diameters. In which range, suppose 25 mm or 40 mm, in which range it will fall, you have to see in the table, the fundamental deviation of in the tables related to the shaft and the hole, you have to see and try to show the range and try to show the range. What is the D max and D minimum? So suppose 25 mm is falling between some 20 and 40. You have to take 20 as the minimum and 40 as the D max. That I will try to tell you later. We'll try to keep the problems for the last and try to discuss the different tolerance grades. So here in this particular examples, applications we have, we'll try to go back and try to go for different types of its examples later here and try to have the particular understanding of the tolerance grades also. So previous class we have seen the clearance fit, the transition fit and the indifference fit. And the clearance fit we have the slide fit, easy slide fit, running fit, slack running fit and loose running fit. So in the transition fit we have the push fit and the ringing fit. So you have to remember both of the names, push or snug fit, but mostly you try to remember whatever get into your mind, the push fit and the force fit, the driving fit, tight fit, shrink fit. Already I have given an example of the bullock cart and steel rim on the inside cylinder and grease fit. Also we have discussed last class. So here in the applications of the types of fits, we have so here I want to say one thing. Suppose one is fundamentally knowledgeable about everything in the limits, widths and tolerances. By seeing this H7, H is for the whole. What is 7? It is IT7 tolerance grade, IT7. So IT7, what it is, I'll try to tell you in the table form. You don't have to by heart. It is 25I or 16I, sorry. I'll try to tell you, you don't have to mark because they'll give in the table, the production drawing or like data books, you will give, you just try to take the value. So I told you that formula, whatever I told you, you have to apply. So H7 is IT7 as far as the tolerance grade for the hole is concerned. / H6, this is a hole shaft pair for a clearance fit. In the clearance fit, the subclassification is the slide fit. So what is H? H is the lowercase letter for the shaft. So it is IT6. So you have to calculate the size of the hole, the size of the shaft, and try to see the condition for the type of fit by different 4 conditions are there. We try to see in the example. I try to quote the example. You can know the 4 conditions and depending upon the positive allowance or negative allowance or either both the positive allowance and the negative allowance, you can say whether it is a clearance fit or a transition fit or a interference fit. For a clearance fit, positive allowance only. All the 4 boundary conditions, or you can say not boundary conditions means most of the keywords we use in strength of materials, but here the conditions for determining the desired type of fit for the whole shaft pair. This is the whole, this is the shaft pair. H7, H6, it is a slide fit. So what is the application of this particular thing? Because the number of examples I want to tell you, again, I've come back to this slide because hole-based system and shaft-based system, if any other slide will come, again I'll repeat, but for the applications of the types of fits, it will be clear to you to quote many examples. So sealing rings, where they are used for the lubrication of the moving parts, male and female, assembly, bearing covers, movable gas and change gate trains, because you are trying to establish a definite speed ratio for different operations on a lathe. So the change gear mechanism, movable gears and change gear trains, not only a lathe, it may be any machine, in any machine other than the lathe. If the movable gears or change gear trains are there for changing the speed parameter. That is the machining parameter in metal cutting. And clutches are there. Clutches, different types of clutches we have, but here is not, maybe it's not there in the DME one, but we have to say this clutch. What is a clutch? You might have already known. So all that we have to see. So if it is an easy slide fit, you just try to see the alphabets. You try to see the alphabets also. I don't have to again say, because already a professional course, I cannot say. I will say what are the letters missing. I can say from A to Z. I, L, O are not there in the particular alphabets as far as the combination of whole shaft pair is concerned. I, L, O. I letter, L letter, and O letter. Just try to remember that. So why I'm telling, because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So H is coming. So it is a slide fit. So easy slide fit is G. So F, G, H. So he has gone from the backwards, but you have to just, in order to remember, you can just turn the table or try to explain first the loose running fit here. Loose running fit, H8. H8 means I8 hole, the size of the hole. You have to see according to the 25 mm or 40 mm in which range it will be there in the table. You don't worry about that. You don't have to mark in the table. According to the table, you have to find out the minimum diameter and maximum diameter, and capital D is equal to root of D minimum into D maximum. How you calculate the capital D. So you try to incorporate the value of capital D in the formula I already told you. So in the examples or in the problems you can understand. So what is D9? D9 is the shaft one. D, small d, capital one is the hole. D is the shaft, D9, IT9. So in the table, what it is, you have to calculate the size of the hole, size of the shaft. And you have to go for the conditions, and conditions you can say all the different conditions that we'll try to show in the problems also. That you have to remember, because if you're doing wrong in the calculation of the size of the shaft or the hole or in the conditions, the whole problem will go wrong. That's why you have to know fundamentally. If he is giving H8 T9, already you know. If you have a sufficient knowledge, already you know it's a clearance fit. But in the problems, you have to show that it is a clearance fit. Don't try to manipulate the problems. Don't try to manipulate the problems. So I just sincerely advise you to just know the concept of this one, concept of types of fits, and the concept of the whole shaft face. So starting from D, it's a loose running fit. Slack running fit, it is C11. So you can start from slack running fit. C, D, E is not there. F, G, H. So slack running fit, H8, C11, IT8 of hole, size of the hole. C is the shaft, IT11. So you can calculate that by seeing the table. So where it is used, you can see oil seals with metal forgings, or multi-spline shafts. So in the shafts, we have spline shafts. You have multiple splines on the shaft, on the periphery of the shaft, because in the standard mechanical components in production drawing, students are asked to draw that particular shaft, spline shaft, and try to mention it by particular symbol. So that is how you can enhance your knowledge by following the production drawing textbook also related to this limits, fits, and tolerances chapter. So loose running fit. So already I told you this: slack, loose, then running. You just try to go for SLR. So you try to remember some particular abbreviations so that you can remember slack, H8, C11, loose running fit. It's not that C11 only you can take. You can take other combination also. But in order to get this particular subclassification, you have to get into your mind the subclassification and the clearance fit. I'm again showing this particular table. So running fit, H8, F8, IT8 for the pole and IT8 for the shaft. So according to the 25, suppose it is 25 H8 F8, that 25 in which zone, in which zone it will fall, not zone actually, in which suppose 25 is falling between 25 and 40, suppose. So you have to take D minimum as 25 and D maximum as 40 and calculate D is equal to root of D1, D2 or root of D minimum, D max, and then try to substitute that capital D in the formula. So easy slide fit H7, G7. So slide. So all these 5 subclassifications are there in standard textbooks like IC Gupta, RK Jain, KL Narayana. You have to follow those one. So you just try to see whenever you are going for the particular suppose slack running fit and loose running fit. Again, I want to tell you that you can also control the revolution of the shaft. You can low revolution, medium revolution, and high revolution. It's not that rated speed will be there as the spindle speed is concerned. According to the particular manual or brochure that is given along with the machine, or according to the particular practice to get the desired type of fit, you try to maintain the revolution of the shaft or the spindle speed within the prescribed limits. Within the prescribed limits. So that is the design limits, you can say, because design for manufacturing, that is very important term, which is a very important term nowadays. People are not only going for only one particular specialization, even in mechanical, they're going for the 3, they're combining the 3, or combining mechanical and electronics, mechatronics. So you have to know all that particular fundamentals regarding this one. So while coming to the interference fit application, it is the first one you just try to see. Again, fundamentals, what I told you. If you want to remember what I told you, my dear friends, you just try to see. You try to again recall your alphabets. So P, Q, R, S. P, Q is not there. Okay. Okay, I'm just telling you, ILO already is not there, but in the interference fit, it is suppose you are starting from here. You are starting from the tight fit. You try to rearrange it so that you can remember easily. P, I'll start with P. So P means H7, IT7, whole, IT7, that particular value I'll show in the table what to take as far as the I, small I or capital I. Small I is for a definite ranges of the pole and the shaft. Beyond that range, you have to take capital I. So you try to be careful as far as the symbols writing for the hole and shaft, uppercase for hole and smaller case, lower case for the shaft. H7, P6, stepped pulley on the drive shaft of a conveyor. So what is a conveyor? It is used for material handling. So on the drive shaft of the conveyor, you try to assemble the step pulleys. The shaft is a male component here, the step pulleys are the female component here, and you want a tight fit because it is a permanent assembly, because it's used for material handling. You have to use for the tight fit. So H7, P6. Again, go for this one. Force or press fit. I'm going in an alphabetical order. Don't worry about this table. So you just try to rearrange this because I'll share this with you. Students, you try to rearrange and try to make a notes of this one as far as the application of the fits, clearance, transition, and interference fit. So H8 R6, H8 R6. This is the uppercase for the hole. This is for the shaft. IT8 for the hole. IT6 for the shaft, and these are used for crank pins, car wheel axles, car wheel axles. So you can see now, definitely you have to feel proud that by learning the subject, you are knowing the assembly, what is the type of assembly, or what is the type of fit you want for different applications, for standard mechanical components or automobile applications, or the forging machine or the castings. Suppose bearing bushes are there in the castings, you are going for the interference fit, or in the subclassification it's the force or press fit, force or press fit. So after that, it is the driving fit. Driving fit is a plug or shaft lies slightly larger than the hole. So that is the thing. And after PRS, you have to come to the shrink fit. Shrink fit is U6 or U7. So depending upon that particular application, you try to see both of them as same, shrink and fit. But here you have to go for the heating of the components in order that the outer component will assemble with the inner component, the steel rim onto the bullock cart wheel, or the outer cylinder onto the inner cylinder. In the case of compound cylinders, that is the shrink fit. So that is H7U6, IT7 for the hole and IT6 for the shaft, IT8 for the hole and IT7 for the shaft. So these are bronze on worm wheel hubs. All this you have to say assembly of piston pin. This is very important in IC engine piston. We are assembling the gudgeon pins or the piston pins in the IC engine piston, and according to the grade of the gudgeon pin bore, whether it is white or black, or according to the dimension of the custom, the gudgeon pin bore, according to the model, some we have white and black, some we have 3 types of grades. How to get the final finishing as far as the IC engine piston is concerned, you are using the accurizing machine. You are using the boring bars in the accurizing machine, 2 boring bars, one for rough cut and one for finish cut, and trying to measure the internal diameter of the gudgeon, the piston bore gudgeon pin bore by using the pneumatic comparator. In metrology, we have one chapter, pneumatic comparator. By using the air as a medium, you have to use the for inspection of the gudgeon pin bore, that one. That's how you have to control the process, manufacturing process in a manufacturing industry. It's not so easy like writing theory, but practical implementation is very much difficult. The tools should be correct, the machine setting should be correct, the machinist, skilled operator should be there, and the feedback should be coming from the quality control inspector by inspecting the subcomponents dimensions correctly and trying to control the process, manufacturing process. So in order to get the shrink fit, already I told you, these are the examples. Okay. So breech fit is the insertion of exhaust valve seats in engine cylinder box or brass bushes in various assemblies. So you just try to see the material also. So most of the bushes are made of brass, or some of this are gunmetal, but you try to see the material also. So that is very much important. Application, clearance fit, interference fit I told. So we'll come back to the last one. We'll go back to the last one, and this is the push fit. So you just try to see K comes before N. So here you have given an order, push fit. So just by pushing, the pulleys and inner ring on ball bearings on shafts, because the ball bearings you try to introduce on the shafts, you want to have a transition fit, and the type of bearing and the design of bearings you have to already you might have learned in design of machine elements. So that is very important. And the pulleys, how you mount the pulleys on the shaft, that's very important. So that is H7K6, IT7 for the hole and IT6 for the shaft. So you have to just calculate the size of the hole first, the problems, the size of the shaft, and the 4 conditions I'll try to tell you that you have to calculate. And then according to the values you get, positive values, positive allowance is the clearance fit, negative allowance all the four values is the what? Interference fit, and some of the positive allowance and negative allowance values in the four, two positive, two negative, or any of these three positive and one negative also, it will be a transition fit, either clearance or interference. Mind you, already I impressed upon you, I told upon you, I just explained about the maximum clearance and minimum clearance. Maximum positive allowance, minimum positive allowance. Again, I told you about the minimum negative allowance and the maximum negative allowance. How to remember the classification of fits. So that is very important. Ringing is gears of machine tools, H7 and 6 here. So it is IT7 for the hole, and for the shaft it is IT6. So that is very, very much important. The system of fits, the types of fits, the unilateral system, and the bilateral system already we have covered. So as far as the tolerance grades are concerned, what is the tolerance grade? What is the significance of tolerance grade? It indicates the degree of accuracy of manufacture. By seeing that, you can say it's indicating the degree of accuracy. So we have 18 grades of fundamental tolerances. So this 18 grades you can see in the ISO system, the International Standard Organization has come into existence because a bearing or a gear is manufactured in India, can be used in Switzerland also or in other countries. Or if any other bearing or gear is manufactured in foreign country, it can be used in India also. That's why International Standard Organization has come into existence. And these are the tolerance levels, IT0, IT01, then IT1 to IT16. These are the things which are useful for the problems, for the numerical problems, IT1 to 16. So you have to remember well. So 18. So these are designated by the letters IT followed by number. IT followed by number. IT0, IT01, and you just write. Don't confuse with IT1 and IT. There you can easily understand by seeing the particular values in the table. So that is the tolerance values corresponding to standard this tolerance values corresponding to grade IT5 to IT16. IT5 to IT16 is you have to use this small I. That means what is the meaning of IT1 to IT4 or up to IT5? You have to use capital I. This is in micron meters or in microns. So it is a function of the basic size. It's a function of the basic size. So 18 grades of tolerance ఉంటాయమ్మా జాగ్రత్తగా గమనించండి. సో IT0, IT01 and IT1 to 16. సో ఆ ఫార్ములా ఏంటమ్మా ఇప్పుడు స్టాండర్డ్ స్మాల్ I అంటే ఏంటి స్టాండర్డ్ టాలరెన్స్ యూనిట్ 0.4 into cube root of t. 0.4 అనేది కొందరు అనస్తున్నారు కానీ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా వాల్యూ కావాలంటే 0.453 క్యూబ్ రూట్ ఆఫ్ టీ ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాను. టీ ఎలా క్యాల్కులేట్ చేస్తారో ఈ జామెట్రిక్ మీన్ తీసుకోవాలి. లోవర్ డయామీటర్ అండ్ అప్పర్ డయామీటర్ మినిమం అండ్ మాక్సిమం డయామీటర్ ప్లస్ 0.5. ఇక్కడ జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాలి. చాలా మంది ఇది ఎంఎంఎన్ తీసేసుకుంటున్నారు. మైక్రాన్ ఇది మైక్రాన్ మీటర్స్ లో వస్తుంది ఐ. అప్పుడు ఈ ఐ 25 into I or 10 into I or 16 into I అది కూడా ఎలాగా ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినది కూడా రేనాల్డ్ సిరీస్ అంటారు. ఎంత పెరిగింది అనేది మీరు ఇది తెలుసుకోవాలి. నేను ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతున్నానమ్మా మీ స్టూడెంట్స్ని. 10I నుంచి 16I పెరిగింది అనుకోండి, ఎంత పర్సంటేజ్ పెరిగిందో నాకు నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ చెప్పాలి. నాకు ఇప్పుడే చెప్పమన్నాను. అది ఎలా గుర్తుంచుకోవాలో కూడా వాల్యూస్. సపోజ్ ఆ టేబుల్ ఇవ్వడమ్మా, టేబుల్స్ ఇవ్వడం గేట్లో కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్లో ఇవ్వడం, మళ్ళీ అకాడమిక్స్ JNTU కిందనే ఏ కింద ఇస్తారు టేబుల్స్. ఒకవేళ ఇవ్వడం అనుకోండి అలా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. సో 10I నుంచి 16I, 16I నుంచి 25I, ఆ తర్వాత 40I. అది ఎలా పెరిగిందో, ఎంత పర్సంటేజ్ పెరిగిందో మీరు ఒకసారి గమనించండి. సో దాన్నే రేనాల్డ్ సిరీస్ అంటారు. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద థింగ్. అండ్ ఇక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ నేను చెప్పాను, I is obtained for sizes up to 500 mm. Beyond 500 mm, it is capital I. A 25 small I. Beyond 500 అయితే అది 25 capital I తీసుకోవాలి. So what is D? D is the geometric mean of the lower and upper diameter. ఆ 25 mm, 40 mm ఏ రేంజ్ లో టేబుల్లో తెలుస్తుంది. ఆ D minimum, D maximum అది తీసుకోవాలి. ఈ D క్యాల్కులేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఆఫ్టర్ క్యాల్కులేటింగ్ D, you try to substitute the value of D here, and this I value you will get in microns. Then you have to substitute that value in the capital H7 అనుకోండి IT7 అది ఎంతో చూసుకోండి. సో అది న్యూమరికల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ లో తెలుసుకుంటాం. ప్రతిదీ ఒకేసారి వన్ అటెంప్ట్ లో తెలుసుకోవాలని లేదు. మెల్లిమెల్లిగా క్లాస్ తెలుస్తుంటే మీకు ఈజీగా కాన్సెప్ట్ అర్థమవుతుంది. సో ఇప్పుడే చెప్తున్నా, ఈ టాలరెన్స్ గ్రేడ్స్ ఇది అకాడమిక్స్ లో టేబుల్స్ లో ఇస్తారు, మనకి ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తారు. సో IT6 నుంచి మనం IT1 నుంచి IT5 ఎందుకు తీసుకున్నాం? అది ఎందుకు? అది అబౌవ్ 500 కాబట్టి అది క్యాపిటల్ అయి వాడాలి. బట్ మనం స్టాండర్డ్గా మన ప్రాబ్లమాటిక్స్ పర్పస్ అయినా మన దీనికైనా మనం IT6 నుంచి IT16 వరకు కావాలి. మన పర్పస్, మన అకాడమిక్ పర్పస్ అనుకోవచ్చు, మన ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వరకు అనుకోవచ్చు. బికాస్ 500 mm బియాండ్ మనం కన్సిడర్ చేయట్లేదు ఇక్కడ. బట్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ లో ప్రాక్టికల్ అప్లికేషన్స్ లో చేస్తున్నాం. బట్ మనం ఓన్లీ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వరకే IT6 to IT16 తీసుకుంటాం. స్టాండర్డ్ టాలరెన్స్ యూనిట్ అంటారు. సో ఇక్కడ IT6 అంటే 10i, IT7 అయితే 16i, IT8 అంటే 25i. చెప్పాను కదా ఇందాక. ఇది ఎంత పర్సంటేజ్ పెరుగుతుందో మీరు నాకు చెప్పగలిగితే మీరు మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ లో మీరు స్ట్రాంగ్ అని లెక్కేసుకోవచ్చు. బికాస్ నౌ డేస్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ వెరీ వీక్ ఇన్ ద మ్యాథమెటికల్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్. మీరే కాదు, రాను జనరేషన్స్ మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ మీద ఎక్కువ కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయట్లేదు. మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ ఎంత ఇంపార్టెంట్ మీరు బీటెక్ అయిన తర్వాత ఎంటెక్ చేసినప్పుడు, ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ లేకపోతే పిహెచ్డి చేసినప్పుడు, స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే మ్యాథ్సిస్ కానీ లేకపోతే డిఫరెంట్ సపోజ్ క్యాడ్ ఉన్నదనుకోండి, మ్యాథ్సిస్ కావాలి, నాలెడ్జ్ కావాలి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్స్ చాప్టర్లో. సో అది అనుభవమే చెప్తున్నాను. మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ని డోంట్ టేక్ ఇట్ లైట్లీ. సో ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు లేకపోవచ్చు, ఆల్రెడీ మీరు చేతులు కాల్చుకుని ఆకలికి పట్టుకోవడం ఏంటి. ఓకే, సో దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి వెరీ క్లియర్. సో ఇది మీరు టేబుల్ ఇది ఇస్తారమ్మా మీరు, బట్ ఇక్కడ ఎవరో చార్ట్ ఉండండి ఫస్ట్ సార్. ఇదే స్టాప్ అయిపోతుందని భయం అమ్మా, మెల్లిగా రావాల్సి వస్తుంది చార్ట్కి. ఏమడిగారు చెప్పు, అన్మ్యూట్ చేసి అడుగుతారా? Okay, those who have just raised the question, please tell what you are asking. So it may be 14.625%, but you just try to see. I've given a hint. Don't be in a hurry, my dear friend. 302. So I'm not discouraging you. It is 60% variation. It's not 14.6. Reynolds series. You just try to see the standard textbook. Reynolds series, it is almost a 60% one. So just try to see that. Suppose 10i to 16i the difference, you try to take the original value and try to see that. It's not so you just got it now. So okay, you just try to see. It's not discreting. That's why I'm not asked you the answer instantaneously now itself. So you just try to put. Okay, take time also. Okay, take time also and try to tell me. So every time I gone to chart, because stop share there is stop అయిపోతుంది, మళ్ళీ షేర్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అనుకోండి, ప్రాబ్లం అది. So I got that answer, sir, but I'm confused. That's why you try to refer IC Gupta or this one and try to see the Reynolds series, RENART series, how he has explained the values of IT6 to 16, how the geometric progression has been there in that particular values, and how much it has increased. So if you see and you still cannot understand, you can ask in the next class. So my dear friends, already we are 51 minutes, but I want to complete this also. Just a quick look at this one. So IT0 to IT01 to IT4. So we are starting from IT6 only in the particular fundamental tolerances as far as the problems are concerned. For what they are using, you just try to see this particular, have a look at this particular slide. What are the applications? IT01 to IT4 you are using for production of gauges, plane limit gauges, that is the plug gauges. there is a ring and snap gauges and the measuring instruments. But whenever you are going from IT5 to IT7, you are using in the precision engineering application, ball bearings, grinding, fine boring, high quality turning, broaching. But whenever you come to IT8 to IT11, this is generally for general engineering, like the different operations for turning, boring, milling, planing, and the mechanical working or metal working like rolling, extrusion, and precision cube drawing. All these are the things, the fundamental tolerances. What are the fundamental tolerances that can be used for the general engineering? What are the fundamental tolerances that may be used for precision engineering applications? And what are the fundamental tolerances that can be used for gauges? You can have a knowledge of this one by seeing this table. So for IT12 to IT14, because IT6 to IT16 mentioned చేశాం కదమ్మా. So IT12 to IT14 is for sheet metal working. You might have studied in production technology. One of the units, sheet metal working, sheet metal dies, simple die, compound die, progressive die, all the dies, how you design, how to make them, all the are the fundamental things you might have learned in production technology. Because I have inspected the tool inspection, die inspection. So it's a very concentrated task on the part of the tool room engineer to provide tools to the machine shop or provide dies to the foundry people. So IT 15 to 16 entama, casting, stamping, rubber molding, general cutting work, flame cutting. So all this, not only commercially you try to think, try to be having a fundamental knowledge regarding academics, regarding applications. If you are going to an industry, you have to have this fundamental knowledge. What are the fundamental tolerances you use for different applications, or what are the fundamental knowledge regarding the types of fits, subclassification you're using for different assembly of components for a particular application. So with this, I'll try to just end this. My dear friends, the Raynaud series, just given you a hint, actually it's not in syllabus, but previously in the unit system, we used to have a lot of time, lot of classes, more than 80, 90, 100 classes. One chapter you used to take a lot of time, but in semester system, it's not like that. You try to have your particular homework in the at house and try to see that how it is being increased from 10i to 16i to 25i to 40i. Okay, that's what I want to say. So we'll try to end this class. Thank you for patient hearing, and thank you again for the particular questions. Number of questions can be asked. I'll try to answer, but if any question, maybe at that juncture, sometimes we are also human beings. We are not want to tell some rubbish or some particular wrong. We don't want to just keep you in the wrong path. I'll just try to again refer and tell if I am also confused as far as that particular question is concerned. So instantly we can give you doubt, but just I am telling that. Okay, thank you for patient listening. Thank you again.